Our emotions are very vital in the way we go about our daily lives, and when we do not pay keen attention to them, they culminate to what we are known to be behaviors. So, the question this moment is, are you a master of your emotion, or is your emotion master over you? We're meant to be on top of the game, to rule, to master our emotion. Hey, if you are just tuning into this channel, I would like for you to subscribe to this video, like, share, and leave me your thoughts and comment. I will be glad to hear from you, and you are welcome to be part of this community. We are all about becoming, because that is who we're meant to be every day. If you're better today than you were yesterday, kudos, that is who you're meant to be. And the whole idea of Speak Out with Lucy is to ensure that we get better every day. So today we're looking at our emotions. They are very, very important in the daily expressions of our life. So today I want to ask you a question. Who is ruling you? Is your emotion in charge of you, or are you in charge of your emotion? Very quickly, let's look at a couple of tips I believe will be very needful as you navigate your daily activities, so you're aware. Self-awareness is the very beginning of self-freedom, and self-freedom gives you the expression that you and I need to become, right? So the question I want to ask is, what story are you telling yourself? In the journey of our lives, every day we're characterized with different events and activities, things that come at us. And the first thing is we have perceptions. What perception are you having regarding the event, activity, or the situation that just presented itself before you? What story are you telling yourself? It is crucial to understand that the story we tell ourselves determine how we respond. So you want to pull back and ask yourself, why is this happening, before you respond? For when you tell yourself the right story, then you'll be able to understand why a thing happened and how you should react. Another thing you want to ask yourself is, are you telling yourself the truth? Having determined what story are you telling yourself, the question is, are you telling yourself the truth? The story you have just told yourself, is it the truth? Could there be another variance to that same story? Have you given that a thought before? I think that is a perception to put in place while we're navigating life. Are you telling yourself the truth? If you're not, then pause and reevaluate the story you're telling yourself. And if you are telling yourself, it leads to the next thing. You have a choice as to how you respond. Assuming you have concluded on the story you're telling yourself that it is the truth, do you know that you have the power and the right to respond differently? Assuming your emotions are telling you, call this person and tell them the bluff they need to know, do you know you have the power to react differently? You have been given that right to pull back and react and respond rightly. If you do not know that, let this be a self-awareness to you, that you have the power, you have the capacity to determine how you respond to the story that you have told yourself. And assuming the story is true, this person has been rude, or this situation is most unfair, you have a right to determine how you respond. And many times it is the way we respond that tells how we move on with the situation to the next phase. Do not allow your emotions rule and guide you as to how you respond. Give yourself that power, that gratification that you took a decisive decision to respond well. Another thing that you need to understand in the journey of mastering your emotions is to identify your triggers. What are the things that trigger your emotions to run wild and to take a better part of you? Identify them and begin to work on them. Now, starting to work on them today does not mean you gain victory tomorrow. There are times when you tell yourself you won't respond in this way, you won't feel this way, but then you do. Look, it is okay. Don't beat yourself over it. We all have been there. I have been there. Look, there are days I wake up in the morning and it's like the whole masquerade of emotions are coming against me. And I'm like, hell no, you're not going to have a party over this girl today. I am going to be in charge. So I get up and I begin to speak to my mind and I tell myself, no, this is not going to take a better part of me. Because one thing I've noticed, when the negative part of emotions get the hold of you in the day, it takes the grace of God to find yourself out of it, because you just begin to go through one moment of bad feeling or the other. Listen, I used to be the president of Mood Swing Association, but now I have left that office. I hope you're not the next person holding that post. It is a horrible place to be. Trust me, I've grown and you can grow. I'm still in the process of growing. You can still grow. So the best thing to do in the journey as we go and become who we need to be is to identify our triggers, tell ourselves the truth, examine the things that are bringing these situations of emotional upheavals, reduce anything that does not align to who and where you want to be emotionally. Another thing I want you to do is reduce negative thoughts. Negative thoughts have a way of making our emotions a mess. It just messes you up, and then you just don't know how next to go about your life. Negative thoughts have negative effects, and when they begin to play their roles in us, you find yourself behaving otherwise and you don't know why. I found myself feeling the need to react and overreact over someone's maybe very innocent expression. But identifying the fact that this is a trigger and I know that it's stemming out of some negative feelings and thoughts, I'm able to hold back and say, hell no, you're not going to party around this girl. It is not going to happen. Look, we're getting older. The truth is, if you're 10 today, you're only a day older to you're being 11. And if you're 60, you're getting older, you're going to be 61. Every day we're getting older. And as the older we get, it just makes sense for us to begin to master the things that we hitherto haven't mastered before. If you never knew this truth, it is time you know it and begin to work in that direction. One other way to help you master your emotion is to clarify messages, clarify information. Something happened just a few minutes before I came to do this video. A friend sent me a message. All my messagings on my phone are aligned to my laptop. So I was working, and when the message came in, a bit to just respond, immediately the pop-up came up. I did a Y, which was a yes in my mind to this person. And thankfully, they did not make a conclusion on my response. What they did was another message came in. Does this mean a yes or a WHY, a Y? And I said, oh, it means a yes. Now, if this person did not clarify the message with me, they would have had a negative impression, a negative feeling, and that would have stemmed up an emotion against me. I didn't mean a why. I wasn't challenging them. I was just saying a yes. And that came out of the fact that I was busy working and I wanted to be on top of the game, just answer them and move on. But it was good that they clarified. They came back with a second question. Is this a yes to the question I asked, or are you challenging why I asked you the question? And I said, no, I'm not challenging. I'm just saying it's a yes. So that way, that tells me this person has a good self-control, a good emotional control. If not, if it was someone who doesn't, the person will just take it, oh, Lucy, who does she think she is? She asked me a why and give me attitude that I do not understand. So it is necessary that you please look at your thoughts, ensure that your thoughts are not negative, and if they are negative, replace them. Another thing you want to do is examine yourself. Many times we're always right and correct by ourselves. You are not always right and correct. Sometimes you're wrong. So when you want to react and you want to allow your adrenaline go around your body and make you feel whatever it is you're feeling, pull back and examine yourself. Are you responding right? Is that the right thing to do? And assuming you're responding right, assuming the right response is to go all ballistic, why don't you pull back? Remember, you have a choice as to how you respond. Pull back, take some time, and then you respond. This leads me quickly to the next part of the consideration is take breath. Deep breaths are so beautiful. When things come at me, sometimes all I do is When you take a couple of deep breaths, they have a way of calming down your nerves and giving you that relaxation that you need, and some good blood flows into your brain, and then you're able to come back from the of whatever you were feeling so you're able to calm down and give yourself a thought. I want to believe these simple tips that we've talked about have added value to you. You can always, of course, go back to the video and look at the fact that what stories are you telling yourself. You need to examine your purpose and intention, identify your triggers. You need to replace negative thoughts with good ones. You need to tell yourself the truth. You need to clarify messages and examine why those messages are coming. You need to take deep breath. You need to excuse the other person. Look, in as much as you have a right to your emotions, the next person has a right to their emotions too. But the truth here is, your emotion is not the Lord over you. You are the Lord over your emotion. Just like you have capacity to control your mind, I need you to know you have capacity to control your emotions. If you do not, it will ruin you. It will lord over you. And many times when you see people that are emotional wreck, is because they did not rule, tame, and monitor and grow their emotion. This is how far we're going to go in this conversation. If you have found this educative, informative, inspiring, please like, share, subscribe, tell someone about this channel, and I'd like to hear from you how you feel. It's your girl Lucy, and we're talking about the fact that you have the capacity to master your emotion. You're the Lord of your life. Go ahead, rule, reign, because that is who you're born to be. I love you. Until I come your way again, peace.